Family Dollar will close 600 stores in the first half of this year and at least 370 more over the next several years as store leases start to expire.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Family Dollar closing 1,000 stores across the USA, which accounts for about 10% of their total retail space. Now, this comes as no surprise to me. First things first, have you been to a Family Dollar within the past 5, 10, 15 years? They always look like they're pretty much on the brink of closing. You're talking about an ultra low retailer, very low cost items. The pay is not going to be very high. You're talking about a low income type of environment. These places have razor thin margins. I mean, I'd be surprised if these spots that are closing had any kind of profitability at all. You're talking about just not making any money, in the red, not doing well at all. And the second thing that lets me know this is not really a surprise, this is going to happen, is because of the current economic state. Biden and many others that support Biden will say that the economy is doing well. We're making so many jobs happen. We're making a lot of strides as far as the economy is concerned. But I can't tell. People are struggling very badly. People don't have a lot of money. There's all kind of cuts being made, all kind of layoffs happening in all kind of industries. And this industry, the ultra low cost retailer, is no exception under Biden's economy. All right, Build Back Better, I can't tell. Now, before we get into a video, we have an article. This is from New York Times. You see the headline, Family Dollar to close nearly 1,000 stores. And the reason why I'm showing this article is because there's a pretty interesting piece that you may not have thought about. The subhead says a chain has struggled for years. As I was saying earlier, as you guys know, its parent company, Dollar Tree, cited inflation, theft, and reduced government benefits as challenges that had prompted the closing. Government benefits? What do you mean? Well, obviously, in places like Family Dollar, they have to rely a lot of times on the government to subsidize employee pay. That's just a reality. Look, if you go into a Family Dollar and there's so many cheap items that cost next to nothing, and then they're in low income places where it's gonna be a lot of theft and crime and violence and all kind of stuff. With all that going on, they gotta rely on whatever they can to keep costs very low, to keep the doors open. You pay your employees next to nothing because they get benefits from the federales. I think Walmart does this. A lot of your low cost retailers do that. That's just the reality. And I think they were dependent upon a lot of the scamdemic type stuff. But once that money dried up, then it's hard to keep employees. And that's part of the problem. And also the theft. Oh man, the theft is real all over the place. We've seen plenty of videos on this channel and many others of guys going into a lot of these low income, low cost retailers and just taking bags and stuff. And nobody's going to stop them. There's no prosecution. The whole rule in California where they say anything below $1,000 will not be prosecuted, that's going to impact a place like Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Walgreens, CVS, Dollar General. It's going to affect them heavily. And then, of course, inflation. Although they have very cheap items, a lot of it comes from China, probably about 80-90% of it, you still got inflation going on, and it's hard to sell items in an ultra low cost retailer that are going to cost more. I think Dollar Tree is now the $1.25 tree. Either it's Dollar Tree or Dollar Store. Y'all let me know, because those two different companies. But rather than having items for $1, it's $1.25 because of the inflation. So the core of your experience in the store is going to be changed because of what's happening right now in the economy, although Joe Biden and his acolytes will say that that's not really a thing that's going on. Now, before I go any further, let's get into an actual news clip from News Nation. If you want to see the clip in full without my commentary, link, as always, will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
You're looking for a deep discount. Dollar Tree announcing they're going to close 1,000 of its Family Dollar stores. That's more than 10% of all Family Dollar locations. And this comes after huge financial losses in the fourth quarter for the company. The company, which owns Family Dollar, expected to close 600 of those stores in just the first half of this year before shutting down an additional 370 stores and 30 Dollar Tree stores over the next few years.
So what's going to happen is those additional 370, those are going to be expiring leases. So before the lease is up, they're not going to just close it abruptly. The lease will expire, the letter expire, and then that'll be it. And they're talking about 30 Dollar Tree stores are going to close in the next few years as well.
A lot of people shop here. Drake Clark joins us live with updates. Drake, some of the most vulnerable communities expected to be hit hardest by these shutdowns.
Yeah, Marquis, good morning to you. Surely these closures will have an immediate impact on low-income communities because that's where many of these dollar stores are located here. There are about 8,500 Family Dollar stores spread out across the country, and some of them are in cities like New York and rural areas. But now Dollar Tree, which is the parent company of Family Dollar, says about 1,000 of those stores have to go in order to keep the company profitable and viable. We're still waiting to see a full list of where those closures will happen and exactly how many people will lose their jobs as a result of these closings. But we do know that Dollar Tree or Family Dollar does plan to close.
So they're talking about complaints of dirty stores, poor management. Yeah, the stores are not going to be clean because, I mean, it's like it's a super hood kind of spot. To keep it all the way real, super hood spot. I mean, how are you going to have this spot in the hood where people don't get paid much? There's the cheapest items in the country being sold. How is that kind of spot going to be in tip top shape, looking pretty and pristine? Those two things don't really go together. You don't go into a hood establishment and think there's going to be looking like you're in Shangri-La, some kind of beautiful suburban rich environment. That's not how that works at all.
600 locations around the country this year and another 370 stores over the next few years. Dollar Tree says it will also close 30 stores as their leases expire. The dollar store family chain stores have struggled in recent years with keeping stores fully stocked and clean, with customers complaining the stores were oftentimes poorly managed. In February, dollar stores agreed to pay a $40 million federal fine for storing food, cosmetics, and medical devices inside a rat-infested warehouse in Arkansas. The company has expressed optimism about its future, but also noted disappointing fourth quarter sales or earnings is part of the reason for the closures, along with inflation. Dollar Tree reported a net loss of $1.7 billion in the fourth quarter.
That's crazy. And to just for a pause, this location right here, the Dollar Tree, that's in my particular neck of the woods back in Virginia. They built that recently in Chesapeake. That's right down the street from where I used to live. So shout out to them. Hopefully, my old stomping grounds is not going to be too affected by this, but $1.7 billion in losses, $40 million federal fine, closing 1,000 stores. Yeah, that might have an impact on local economy out there in Virginia, but I digress.
While last year during the same period, the company reported a $450 million profit. Meanwhile, the company's CEO said this in part: "Our biggest problem right now is getting enough merchandise into the stores fast enough so the consumer can actually respond." Now, Dollar Tree expects to have sales of 2024 between $31 and $32 billion. That's still below Wall Street's expectations, but the company feels very confident that these closures are definitely a good way to ensure the company's future. Marquis?
Yeah, but certainly going to hit a lot of families hard that do a good bulk of their shopping there for some essentials and food. Drake Clark, thank you.
Not just people that shop there, but also the employees, because yes, it's, super low cost. They're not getting paid a whole lot of money, but people that work there need a job, obviously, or else they wouldn't be working there. So that's what's happening. You close in 1,000 Family Dollars, 30 Dollar Trees, and Dollar Tree is a parent company of Family Dollar. So that's going to be a really big impact on the economy. And if this is happening to Family Dollar, I presume that Dollar Store, if that's different, I think that is different. Dollar Store, Dollar Tree. Then you're going to have Dollar General, and a lot of other retailers are going to be affected, even Wally World. You could have Wally World, Target close up in your community if they're not making enough money, because they're going to be impacted by the inflation and everything else that some of the smaller retail stores are going to be impacted by. And let's not even talk about the mom and pop shops that are trying to be retailers, or they may be impacted by inflation and theft and everything else that Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Dollar Store will be affected by. They will also have problems. But I'm being told, as I close, I'm being told that the economy is just fine. We're bringing in 100,000 jobs, 200,000 jobs. We're doing very well in this country. The economy is booming. If that's the case, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Karine Jean-Pierre, then I can't tell. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on 1,000 Family Dollar stores closing because of all the aforementioned reasons, inflation, theft, and et cetera, so on and so forth? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I'm not surprised because, again, Family Dollar is always on the brink. These stores are always kind of in hood environments, low-income environments, not a lot of money. Any little fluctuation in the economy will cause some problems, and we've had some big economic fluctuations happen ever since Joe Biden's came in office. So, of course, they're going to be impacted negatively. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.